well, originally quite corporate and quite business, and people do kind of it's stiff upper lip sort of thing on occasion. Do you find that, like you mentioned then, Twitter is just, I can say whatever I want and get away with it, so it's fine?
Yeah, so it means that like there's less kind of like, oh, you can't say that here. So fewer people bite, but then also my audience is a lot smaller, like followers wise. It's interesting actually. It's someone on LinkedIn. I can say the name, can I?
Yeah, yeah, if you want to, yeah.
Yeah, so I've got a connection called Claire Williams, and she said to me, she's a regional business coordinator. She's based in Bristol. Um, she posts some really good stuff, like good sense of humor and stuff like that. So she sent me a message, so like basically, she must have gone on my Twitter account and looked and basically told me that I was doing it all wrong and what I should do. So about 20 minutes after reading her message to me, I went and basically did what she told me to do. And I must have gained about 300 followers within the next sort of hour.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, she's nothing to do with social media or anything like that. She's just she works for a training company, but it was just she was basically saying, I don't know if it's ironic your Twitter account, as in like you're saying you're influencing thousands of below average people, but when you've only got 100 followers, it looks a bit silly. So you need to do X, Y, Z, and you'll get a lot more followers. And so I've started doing that, and my followers have started to increase quite quickly. But yeah, it's a completely different audience, completely different content needed, and also you are competing with like a lot of different people on there. And also, I don't want this to sound bad now, but like the type of person that has Twitter, it's the spectrum of that type of people is so vast. I would
Yeah.
say it's a lot wider than say LinkedIn.
Yes. Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Does that make sense? I
Yeah.
mean, there's
Oh, yeah.
some posts on Twitter I read it and I don't even know if they're speaking English. They are English, but there's like no punctuation. It's all like in text language. I reread it maybe 4 or 5 times, and I still don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah. You know what?
Whereas on LinkedIn, that very rarely happens.
I've got a friend who is like the grammar police. I know he hates all that kind of stuff, so I can totally I can totally relate because people do because well, I know the character count has increased over the last couple of months and stuff like that, but people do really struggle with the English language on Twitter from time to time.
And that's
That
English
is the
people,
thing,
by the way.
yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt, because you think, oh, I'll just shorten every single word and it'll be fine, just to get the message out. It's like no one even cares what the message is because no one actually understands what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do completely agree with that.
Well, I've seen posts when they're like when they're written by a Scottish person and stuff. I find that funny because obviously you're reading it in your head in like a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
So I find stuff like that funny. But yeah, so it's a completely different audience. And then Facebook, I don't even know where to start with that, to be honest. I've never had Facebook ever.
Is it
So
something though that with Twitter and with Facebook, well, like you mentioned, then you've never had Facebook before. Is it something that is of interest to you, so you're going to learn it, or is it's a business development tool, so you have to learn it? How are you
yeah,
taking your approach to it?
yeah. So just business. As soon as the novelty wears off this, I just disappear completely off social media. I don't see myself having it, as in I want to use this in my personal life.
So then, by that logic, you post and you engage with your own posts, but you don't necessarily go out of your way to consume content from other people
No.
unless it's to do with what you're talking about or it's a research kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's basically it. And I mean, I do that in real life as well.
Yeah.
If I'm interested in something, I'll go and find it, and that's in any format. Like I like to read a lot, as in proper books, um, audio books. I listen to stuff like that. But yeah, I don't just sit there consuming like content from all over the place just for the sake of it. Like get caught in like a YouTube hole.
Yeah, yeah, where
What
people just sit for
weird a
days
video,
and watch
like a weird
YouTube.
video. It's almost like I go and research something I'm interested in, and then that's it. I pretty much stick to the same things. But yeah.
Cool. Okay. So then, what I suppose the next logical question would be: what is the goal or if there is an end game to demotivational speaking? Do you think it's going to be a niche that is a novelty? Do you think it's going to be a niche that is continuing to grow? Like you mentioned before, there's plenty of other people who do what you do in that whole realist, like being optimistic but with a limit approach to life and business and career and all these kind of things. So where do you see it going, or are you just going to ride the wave and see what happens?
Yeah, well, while there's people that'll listen, I still do stuff on LinkedIn. When the books come out, I still do stuff, but I can see him might win it slowly dying a slow, painful death probably. Unless I get banned from LinkedIn at the moment, my account's under review anyway, so I might be gone next week.
Oh wow! Are you allowed to say why your account's under review?
Yeah, by all means. Yeah, so it's just a well-known influencer posted a post that was a rehash of an old post they did about 9 months ago,
Okay.
which I actually parodied 9 months ago. So I just thought it would be funny to highlight that this influencer's ran out of fake stories to tell, and they're now just regurgitating their own content from the last 12 months, because obviously they've got a lot more followers now, so they don't realize that this is content that they've put out previously.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd do it in a humorous way by actually linking it to my parody post and saying, "Oh look, I've been parodied." Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. So
And
they're
then,
trying to recycle old content, and as are
yeah,
you, and they're not too happy
yeah, but
about
then
it.
because then some people said, "How come Mike Winnett's post 9 months old and yours is a week old? You must have copied him." They then got really angry about it. They blocked anyone that raised that question on their story on their post, sorry, and then reported it to LinkedIn. So LinkedIn have now restricted my account. So a lot of people can't search me on LinkedIn anymore. A lot of people can't tag me in posts on LinkedIn anymore. And I got an email today from LinkedIn saying it was a copyright infringement.
Oh,
And if you read the two stories, it's quite amusing because they're very different. My story ends in a massive failure and how I was really rude to this employee. While theirs was a triumphant, they turned this employee's life around and now they're amazing. And luckily, aren't they such a great person? Mine's I'm such a bad person and the employee's life went to shit. So the stories aren't the same at all. They just start off the same.
And the influencer.
But yes, so LinkedIn pulled the account. Yeah, so then LinkedIn have pulled the content. But funnily enough, to tell me what content they've stolen, they've censored. You had to send me a screenshot of it. So we just reposted the screenshot.
You've reposted the screenshot.
Say this is the content that's been censored. So it's back on LinkedIn already.
And the influencer, are you? Do you engage with the influencer? Is it something that?
I've been banned. I've been blocked by that influencer for 12 months anyway. So I've not seen or heard any of their content at all. It was just when because I get people send me content all the time, like, "Mike, have you seen this?" or "You'll like this." So I get emails every day. Sorry, not emails, messages every day on LinkedIn saying, you need to have a look at this content. You need to see this person. You need to connect with this person. You'll enjoy this. So people send me stuff all the time now to almost review.
Yeah.
Parody.
So there's an element of you don't even have to, in the nicest way, create your own content because people are saying, on the down low, this is something that you should bite at. This is
screenshot. I get screenshots every day. "Mike, you need to look at this." "Oh, Mike, I wish I could do something with this. I'm not allowed to tag you in." So I get people that tell me they're not allowed to interact with my content. Work tell them they're not allowed to.
Because it's honest, or because it's not corporate enough for them.
Because if they're seen as liking and sharing or commenting on my post, then it might look like their company endorses some of Mike Winnett's views, and obviously some of Mike Winnett's views are ridiculous, aren't they? So yes, but I still get them sending me messages. I give you a really funny story. I've got a friend, and his wife was connected with me on LinkedIn. We're good friends, and she used to complain about me at work, saying, "How can you at home? Sorry, how can you be friends with him in real life? He's such an idiot." And he said, "You don't get it."
Yeah,
and she was saying, "It can't be a joke. He says this stuff all the time." And then she's disconnected with me, and she doesn't speak to me as in real life because of. She doesn't really understand that it's parody and satire on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Which is mad, isn't it?
Yeah, when you think even when we spoke before about the different kinds of people that you interact with or you parody and that kind of stuff, there's still an element of whatever you're doing, you just be successful at it. I think with everyone, isn't there? There's certain people online that I really like watching their content. There's certain people I see and think you're talking absolute shit, And it's like you mentioned before, very much paint by numbers content where people are buying into it, and it's wrong. It's blatantly wrong to charge people for what you're telling them, because it's not. It's just not worth money. It's a Google search if people actually took a minute and thought about it. But I also think there's an element of just be successful at what you do. Just let people enjoy it. You're not hurting anyone. You're kind of entertaining people in a way to kind of be that. It's fine to be who you are. You don't have to be anything else. Just accept you as you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
But I've noticed on Twitter, there's a lot of Twitter handles that actually highlight LinkedIn content. I don't know if you've seen like at the state of LinkedIn and crap on LinkedIn. They're two Twitter accounts which basically screenshot content
and then repost it.
What's funny is one of my posts has just been done by state of LinkedIn. So they posted it thinking it was real. And then the comments on that tweet were, you do realize that it is a parody and you posted this as real. You know, so that was interesting that even when they're an account that actually searches for that type of content, I'm doing the same thing that they're doing, only on LinkedIn. And they can't tell the difference between what, in my mind, is obvious parody.
Yeah. And that's like people...
There's that one where I said about, you know, when I found an employee slumped his computer, he was a Jehovah's Witness at Christmas. I asked him why he was in the office, and he said, "Oh, you hired me because I'm a Jehovah's Witness and we don't celebrate Christmas." And then my response was, that does sound like something a forward-thinking, above-average-looking entrepreneurial leader would say. Now, who in their right mind would actually say that? And then who would go and post that? They said that if they did say that stuff. You see what I mean? But then that's a Reddit thread. There's a Reddit thread on that post saying, like, I'm the worst boss ever.
Just because of that content,
yeah, and I thought like Reddit users were going to be almost the smart internet users. I don't know.
It's funny how people react. Yeah, it is really mad how, which goes back to one of the first questions we asked about, like how many people get it and how many people understand it. Like I know we talked about before we started recording. Like I've had a conversation recently with my niece and nephew who've just done the GCSEs, and it's about understanding what success is and what success means to you. Because everyone says be successful. Everyone says there's the tricks to be successful. Why you should be successful. You should get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym and meditate and drink water and lemon juice and all this kind of crap. But no one actually defines what it is. No one actually says this is what success looks like or feels like or anything like that. And that's why when I got the chance to interview you and chat to you and stuff like that, which has been really super interesting, is it's okay just to be you and like just like accept it. And why do you have to conform? If they're your opinions, why shouldn't you be able to put them online? Because if my opinion was different, I would.
Like, yeah, of course.
If you have a motivational speaker who's like, get up at 4 in the morning, go to the gym, you should have this, you should drive a Jaguar, you should have a Rolex, and all this kind of lifestyle crap that we mentioned before. If that's their opinion of success, that's fine. Fill your boots. But if your opinion of success is, like you've mentioned plenty of times, so someone's got to be a bin man. Someone's got to be a milkman. And with all the respect in the world to people who have them jobs, they're hard-working jobs who actually contribute and do stuff and make places look nicer and all these kinds of different things. Like, that's fine. No, you've mentioned a couple of times, like, not everyone needs to have another business. Not everyone needs to be hustling from their kitchen table. It's fine.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't.
We need to like get back to like everyone. Like, life now is shit, isn't it? Like everyone always talks about the glory days. Life is better, but if you notice, people hark back onto when things were better, and it was always when we didn't have the internet and we weren't having this stuff forced down our necks, and we didn't have Love Island, and we didn't have photoshopped sponsored content being sent to millions and millions of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, think about it like this. Back in the day, people had a trade. So you were a builder or a carpenter or an electrician or a plumber, and you contributed to either buildings or home life or whatever it was. Now I can be famous for nothing.
Yeah, of course. You can be famous by telling other people how to be famous.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
I'm not even famous yet. You can now be a millionaire business owner by telling people how to run £1 million business. When they've never done it themselves.
Yeah.
All they've done is put themselves. They've filled in the like rule number